I'm visiting the baking capitals of the world.
Bellissimo.
In search of the people, the places, and the traditions that make the very best of baking.
Oh.
From the laid-back sunshine vibe of Miami to the European chic of Paris.
Oh, superb.
I'm in Warsaw. Now, I've never actually been to Poland before, but I'm here to check out the baking culture of this former communist state.
I meet up with the queen of Polish patisserie with a unique take on cake.
So you get big woman, small woman?
Woman, this is a little bit...
Yeah?
And this is a little bit more slim.
I find a home away from home in a former communist canteen.
You're a good chef. Will you be my mother?
And for my city bake,
There you go. Lovely. Look at those fellas.
I'm raising the bar by putting a modern spin on a Polish classic.
They look fantastic.
My journey to find the best of world baking has brought me to Poland's capital city of Warsaw.
I love it. I love the vibe of this place.
It's a complex city where reminders of Warsaw's communist past loom large alongside the pretty fairy tale streets of the old town.
This is almost the showstopper of Warsaw. This is the main marketplace. Well, I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
Warsaw has withstood anything history could throw at it, and during the Nazi occupation was almost brought to its knees.
85% of Warsaw was flattened during the Second World War. Since then, it's all been rebuilt. And rebuilt based on pictures and photographs of the old town. When you look at all these old lamps, looks like a Victorian thing. It's not. It's 60 years old.
Despite its old world charm, Warsaw is a forward-looking city. In fact, Poland's economy has never been stronger.
Warsaw now is a cool, funky city. I say cool, it is absolutely freezing.
It's -7 degrees today, but one thing that's always guaranteed to warm me up is sampling the delights of the city's baking culture, like this iced donut.
With rose petal jam. Now that is unusual and quite popular in Poland.
But I can't hang around eating donuts all day. I've got an important date. I'm meeting Magda Kessler, a TV chef and a national treasure, who's been hailed as the Queen of Warsaw patisserie.
She apparently makes the most exquisite cakes and pastries. Let's see what they're like, shall we?
Magda's made a name for herself by putting traditional Polish cakes back on the menu. She's updated recipes and injected a dollop of flamboyant fun, making the classics cool again.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? How are you?
And just like her, Magda's cakes are big on creativity and even bigger on personality.
The first one is this one.
Okay.
It's Babka.
Babka.
Babka is woman.
So Babka, you'd say that was a woman?
Yes, it's woman.
Okay, because it's round, it's the way it's... Okay, fair enough. I won't go any further.
Have everything.
The Babka is the grand dame of Polish cakes and translates as grandmother because of its shape that resembles the pleats of a lady's skirt. There's lots of versions of the theme, but this one's a classic, smothered in almonds and fruit.
And it's very, very fresh.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's very regular, but it's very, you know that.
Looks great.
It's dough.
Lots of flavour in there.
Orange, but fried. No fresh. It's orange skin.
Ah, and you fry it off.
Yes, fried in the sugar syrup.
Nice. You've got that citrus going through, you've got the fruit going, you've got nuts. It's like...
It's like me.
It is like you.
Okay,
It's very
babka.
sweet. Lots going on.
Magda's Babka has hit the spot. Now for her next choice. We're going from the matronly to the miniature.
Small babka.
I love the way you relate all cakes to women. So you get big woman, small woman.
Woman, this is a little bit,
Yeah.
and this is a little bit more slim, more younger.
Totally bonkers, but I love it. This little lady's looks are deceiving. I thought it had a pastry crust, but it's actually sponge.
Look at the yellow in that. The yellow is fantastic. That comes from the eggs, it comes from the butter, but it tastes so good. And it does melt in the mouth. Very different to the first babka.
I couldn't come to Magda's without trying her poppy seed cake, an Eastern European speciality crammed with ground poppy seeds, nuts and dried fruits, and a world away from the paler Western versions that I'm used to.
This will be fascinating. Wow. The flavour is intense.
Very.
It's a strong flavour. You get sweetness, but not too much. It's a perfect combination. But then you get the poppy seed coming through. I love poppy seed anyway. Poppy seed on anything's gorgeous. But poppy seed in this is soft. And then there's a light crunch in there as well. That is a bit like a Christmas cake.
Wow.
But better. That is delicious. That, for me, encapsulates what Polish baking is about.
Magda has built up a great business here for herself, with cakes as good as you get anywhere in Europe. But there was a time when it wasn't possible to set up shop in the streets of Warsaw. During Poland's 4 decades of communist rule, if you weren't eating at home, you were probably in a bar mleczna, or milk bar. And a handful of these subsidised canteen-style kitchens can still be found in the city today.
Hello.
And for one good reason.
Right.
If you know what you're ordering, they offer hearty home-style canteen food that's popular with everyone from pensioners to students.
A może być barszcz ukraiński.
Okay. I'm getting ready and I don't know what the hell I'm eating.
And it all costs next to nothing.
And I pay here?
I do kasy, proszę, tak.
Okay. Thank you.
I tu.
Okay.
Dajemy to.
Thank you. Oh, £3. This is obviously the heart of the operation, the main kitchen. It reminds me of a cafe I used to go to when I was a kid. I like it. It's got an earthiness to it. It's like loads of mums feeding me food. I think it's a good thing. Smells coming from there, though, are incredible.
My £3 has bought me what looks like beetroot soup, some dumplings, a cabbage dish, and a lovely cup of tea.
Do you have any milk?
Mleko. Aha.
Aha! Milk with tea, obviously.
It's slightly ironic to have to ask for milk in a milk bar. So called because of the number of dairy items on the menu, although there's plenty of other traditional dishes too.
It is beetroot soup. Vegetables in there, beetroot in there. It's warm, seasoned beautifully. I like that. Wow. Now this is the cabbage. It's fried cabbage. A little bit of stock. Lots and lots of flavour in there. Quite pungent in flavour. Good for you. But again, everything that's on this plate is basically functional to keep you going. It's nutritional. You've got the beetroot, you've got the cabbage. Over here, you've got the dumplings, which I think it's got meat inside it. Let me have a look. It's like an unbaked empanada. Oh, they're lovely. If I stuck that in the fryer and eat it, you'd swear you were in Spain. It is amazing. It's like stepping back in time in here. And you get that feeling of communism in here, and I haven't had that before since I've been in Warsaw. Reflective as well.
It does make you think.
One of the reasons this place has stayed true to itself is thanks to owner Jarek Nowakowski, who for the past 27 years has been rustling up good, honest Polish fare, like this traditional fried pancake.
No to świetnie.
You're a good chef. Will you be my mother?
Ja jestem jego matką. Dałem buzi.
Well, that was my little taste of communist food. It was nutritional, it was warm, it does the job. And you need it when it's that cold outside. Now I've got to brave the elements again.
Next, I'm time travelling through Warsaw's baking past.
Wow, that's incredible, that. My dad used to work on something like this.
And into the future with Poland's most visionary patisserie.
What we have done is deconstructed a traditional Polish cake.
The whole thing together is a work of art.
My baking adventure has brought me to Poland's capital, Warsaw, a city of contrast. From indulgent, rich cakes to good, honest communist staples, I'm discovering a whole new world of baking. It's early evening in Warsaw, and most people are heading home. But for some, the working day is just beginning.
The darkness is always the time for a baker to go to work. Now, this bakery is very special. It's been around for a long, long time, makes some of the best bread in Warsaw, and apparently they've got an oven that dates back many, many years, and I can't wait to see it.
Pia Karina Piwonski Bakery is as authentic as they come. Robert Piwonski's father opened this family-run business in 1955.
We're calling now a bakery.
And incredibly, it's hardly been modernised since.
Just follow me.
I love traditional bakeries, having grown up with my dad's in the 70s, but this is the real deal. Most of this equipment dates back to pre-World War II, and for enthusiasts like me, it's geek heaven.
You see, this for me is the heart of the operation. This is where the mixing of the dough happens, the moulding, the shaping of the dough, and the rising of the dough slowly before it goes into the oven. But you can smell the flour.
Robert and his team supply 100 shops across the city with some of the finest Polish breads. From Halka, a braided egg loaf, to the horseshoe brioche, rogalик, and all with the help of these faithful machines.
This is a very old mixer, isn't it?
Exactly, yes. The mixture is from the beginning of the 20th century.
Wow, that's incredible, that. My dad used to work on something like this.
Like
very
this,
similar, yeah. But it was
It's
artifacts mixer. Just mixes like this.
This place is like a working museum, and the mother of all ovens, thought to be the oldest in Warsaw, is at the heart of the operation.
As soon as I walked in, I knew that was very special. I want to go and have a look. Can I go and see this oven?
Of course, please. You would like to try?
I would like to have a go, yeah.
I've never seen anything quite like this before. It kicks out a fearsome amount of heat, but I can't wait to get stuck in.
It's okay.
These?
Yes.
Pass them up to you.
Okay.
Oh, and they go, oh, I see. So why do you put it from this oven to that oven?
Because here the temperature is too high in this cave. It's a good temperature for beginning, you know, but not for finishing baking.
Okay, okay. So basically, the oven in there stings the bread, kills the yeast, and then it goes into the top one to dry out and finally bake. How long have these ovens been here, Robert?
The oven is second-hand construction, you know, so the construction was from the 1930s, 1940s, I think.
It was during the 40s, when Poland was under German occupation, that Robert's father first discovered his love of baking.
During the war, he had to hide from Germans in the bakery because he was sentenced to death by the German authorities.
Wow.
During occupation.
So your dad became a baker because he was hiding from the Germans at the time. Wow, that's incredible.
It's humbling to think what Robert's dad must have gone through, but inspiring all the same to see his legacy living on.
Believe me, that's hard work. There must be 500, 600 loaves in there, bringing them all out with a peel from there to there and then out again. That's hard work, but worth it. You end up with a great quality product at the end of it. This is what baking is all about.
It's my last day in Warsaw, and for my city bake, I'm heading to the ultra-chic cafe Adet, a place that's been redefining Polish patisserie.
See what I mean? Look at these. These are top end.
The man behind these intricate works of art is perfectionist and head chef Jarek Nowakowski.
Hello, Jarek. You're right.
Nice to see you.
Jarek's single-minded obsession with cake excellence has resulted in some world-class bakes.
What we have done is we have deconstructed a traditional Polish cake. We have a cheesecake, which is baked. We have poppy seed cake, which is massive over Christmas. So we wanted to include all the flavors that go into it, but so you could get basically a better visual effect.
Well, you can. The whole thing together is a work of art. And tastes absolutely delicious. In fact, they taste as good as they look, if I'm honest.
That poppy seed cake has got me itching to get to work. For my city bake, Jarek and I are going to create baking perfection by putting a modern twist on a great Polish classic.
Okay, so what we're going to do is basically a babka, aren't we?
A babka, yeah.
Now, it's just basically a sponge which we're going to bake in these little dinky tins.
Traditionally, a babka is a sweet yeast leaven cake with raisins. But we're going to mix it up a bit. We're starting off as you would a basic sponge. Firstly, in goes the softened butter, then add to that caster or granulated sugar and mix together. Next, gradually start to add the eggs.
So we carry on mixing this together, and you can see the consistency is quite soft. See? Now, I'm happy with that. Now, basically, the next thing I'm going to add is some flour. Now, this has got baking powder in it. You want glucose in it?
Glucose first,
Now, this is unusual. Why'd you put glucose in there?
It's just a little secret that I actually picked it up in France from an old baker. It helps to maintain the moisture within the cake, and also the mixture becomes a little bit more elastic, and we don't put as much sugar.
Okay.
Next, add the plain flour and baking powder and mix together.
Now we've got something which is fairly interesting. We've got a toasted, desiccated coconut.
Yeah, no, that is interesting.
And that goes very well with lemon. And
I mean, that's a lot of coconut, though, isn't it?
That's a lot of coconut, yeah.
I mean, it turns out like a coconut cake rather than a babka.
That is babka, just with a twist.
Okay, we give that a mix together, so we end up with a mixture.
Looking good, looking
good. It looks
good.
pretty nice.
Nice, shiny, smooth.
Now we've got some cream there. Is this double cream?
Double cream, can be whipping cream.
Okay.
We just add it last.
Right. We mix this together and you end up with a beautiful dropping consistency like that. Now we're going to add some lemon zest and lime zest. Now you normally weigh this up, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Now, I used to do that many, many moons ago. And then the problem is, people at home, they couldn't be bothered weighing up zest because most of their measurements don't go to that small. So, to be honest, use the zest of 2 lemons and the zest of 2 limes in there, basically.
Basically.
This needs sharpening, mate. It's a bit blunt.
It's a fine microplate.
Isn't it?
No. To be honest, we have chosen that just so you don't get to zest the pith.
Yeah.
Just so you get only the skin.
I don't want to take the pith. Okay. Okay, so what I've got in there is the zest. I'm just going to fold that in. So you end up with, I mean, it smells lovely, that coconut and that lime. Okay, go on. You can get your hands dirty.
So what we're going to do is put this mixture in these little tins here.
We need scales.
Are you going to weigh? You actually going to weigh this up?
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Jarek's been super meticulous. But for mere mortals like you and me, just put a thin layer of mixture into the tin. And then for an authentic Polish touch, we're adding a layer of traditional rose petal jam.
A little bit, just drop it all the way down.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of rose jam in the middle.
Jam.
So now a little bit more sponge on the top.
Yeah.
So when we bake it, we've got that beautiful little bit of rose in the middle. Lovely.
So, here's one more thing I would like to do.
Okay.
I've got a little bit of oil, and I'm just gonna score them.
That's a nice little touch. Obviously, you don't have to do this at home. This is just emphasising that when it cracks, it ensures that the crack actually happens in the middle and not to the side and balloons the whole cake up.
So we're going to pop our perfectly filled mini tins into a fan oven on about 160°C for 35 minutes.
Here you go.
Lovely. Look at those fellas.
Now all that's left is a few finishing touches. Paint a lemon icing glaze on the top, about 200 grams of icing sugar to 25 grams of lemon juice.
A little bit of lemon and grate that onto the top. Whoa, look at that.
And finally, Jarek's immaculate yellow macaron complements the lemon peel, and that is cake perfection.
They look fantastic. But the last thing I want to do, really, is try a little piece. Oh, look at that texture. Smell that coconut, can't you?
Lovely.
It's beautiful. It's got that coconut in. It's got the lemon in there. You can taste a little bit of lime in there as well. It's got a lovely texture, a nice sponge. Thank you, Jarek. Thank you for letting me use your kitchen.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Pleasure.
That was marvellous. When I came to Warsaw, I was expecting dark, dingy, not much going on, a bit grey, repressed. Is that the right word?
But I couldn't have been more wrong. It's a colourful place, big on personality, steeped in history, and its baking is superb. It draws inspiration from its past, but it's also looking ahead.
The future of Polish baking is very, very bright. I think it's a very, very cool city, and I will definitely be back.